Hey, hello everybody. Hi, welcome to Old Style Classics Baseball Cards. I'm Robert and welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me today. It is June 24th, 2024, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time, and on Old Style Classics Baseball Cards today, we're going to have a bittersweet episode, like saying goodbye to an old friend, but we'll see them again. And what that means is I've reached the end of my run that I know about, unless I have some stuff other places. But as far as large lumps of Michael Schechter and Associates, Mike Schechter and Associates, MSA cards, this is it. This is the last one that I know for sure that's MSA. Now there are some other ones I'm not too sure about, like starting lineup championship baseball, the little squares, because we know MSA's done some stuff with starting lineup, but doesn't say MSA on it, so I'm not going to make the determination on that. So we'll get to that as oddballs, like oddball companies or unknowns. We'll get to those, and we'll just have to do a bunch of random different card companies kind of oddball episode. But today we will be finishing off my MSA run. So I've been wanting to do this ever since I started this channel, and it's one of the reasons that I wanted to do a channel was my love of MSA cards. And so they are the experts or the masters of product issue, food issue, King Bee. We had Jimmy Dean last night. We have cereal cards and these discs from all over the country, like Tasty Freeze and Isley's and all that. You name it, MSA's probably done it, from Burger King on down the line. Now I got some stuff from eBay that I'm waiting for, so some of that might be some MSA cards that I'll probably revisit. So if I have to, I'll do another MSA episode of just what random stuff I have. But nevertheless, this is it. But this episode is not just going to be MSA because I really don't have enough. Well, at this point in time, it's going to be one episode because I don't think I have enough of either to justify them getting their own videos. I probably could, but I don't want to do that. So what we're going to go backwards today in time. We're going to start the closest to us and then go back into the 70s. And what we're going to do here, folks, is we are going to be doing Hostess. So like Twinkies, Ding Dongs, and all that kind of stuff. We are going to be doing Hostess cards, and this one's going to bring us, I just have a few. These are from 1993. They remind me like of Dunross, to be honest with you. Always thought maybe they were, and you see these cards all over the place, and it took me a while to realize that these are Hostess because I never gotten any out of the boxes. So these are going to be all pickups from like card stores and shows or whatever. I just don't think of Oddball when I see these cards. I just think, oh, what Dunross set is that? But it's not. So here we got John Kruk. These are 1993 Hostess. Like I said, Twinkies, Ding Dongs, fruit pies, all that kind of stuff. And of course, we know Hostess is famous for doing cards in the 70s with Topps, which we'll be getting to. But to start that off here, so they are cool fronts, just kind of minimalistic, but they're neat, that little line design. And the backs are actually really nice, so good job. The front's kind of a hit or miss, depending if you like that or not. I think they're solid. Maybe like an A minus. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just not my favorite by any means either. But they are really good stock. You know, you're going to see some chipping on these kind of cards that have anything that goes to the edge. But the backs are just spectacular. That red, white, and blue. The Hostess baseballs. I guess that's what it's called, Hostess baseballs. John Kruk, it's 32 card set. But we don't have the entire set. And so let's get to the MSA part here, folks. So right here, there it is. So it's still daylight out, so I don't have the overhead lights on. Oh, and it looks like a Stanley Cup Game 7's on right now. And if you're watching, Florida just scored the first goal with 15:33 left in the first period. So hate to say it, I'm kind of going for Edmonton because they haven't won in such a long time. And Canada has kind of been on a dry spell. There you go, MSA for Michael Schechter Associates, Major League Players Association, 1993, Continental Baking Company. These are printed in the U.S. So there's Krucky, Mr. John Kruk. All right, so nice looking card. And it's nice enough that somewhere along the line, I ended up getting a double. Centerings are really good on these cards. Looks pretty nice. That one's a little better shape. Beautiful card. I'm not too familiar with this set, so I don't know who else is in the set checklist there. I think first Hall of Famer, here we go. Barry Larkin, shortstop. So you can kind of guess the kind of players are going to be in there in the early 90s. And Barry Larkin there, number 8/32. He's been playing a while. So they're nice cards. They're pretty sturdy. All right, another Hall of Famer. Here we go. Dennis Eckersley. Watching some of the For Collectors Hobby Palooza again today a little bit, like the closing episode. Never knew anything about it until it was on Sunday. So that's interesting. Some pretty cool episodes. Everyone's planning going for the National, but most of those guys are all vintage collectors or pre-war. And so maybe if it was in Chicago, because I'm from Chicago, or maybe when it goes to Chicago, I would maybe consider it someday. But kind of cards I collect, they're probably not going to be at the National, or they're just easy enough to get without having to spend the money to go there. So I'd have to make a trip of it to go to the Cubs game or Wrigley Field and all that, see my cousins and stuff like that, or find somewhere to stay if it was like affordable like that. But like Cleveland, you know, I would mostly be looking for either junk like this, Dawson stuff, like Allen and Ginter stuff, or like unopened boxes, you know, like maybe old Allen and Ginter. Oh wow, Edmonton just scored. So they came right back. Scored 1-1. Wow, good for them. With 13:16 left, so under 2 minutes they scored. So tie game. Alright, so Dennis Eckersley there, Hall of Famer. Just giving these cards a little time in the limelight, folks, because this is going to be it for MSA. Until I pick up another set or something like that, maybe I'll eBay something that I need. Carlos Barrega, second baseman for the Cleveland Indians there. Speaking of the National in Cleveland. So let's give Carlos Barrega a little time in the limelight. Puerto Rican player here. So 15/32. So good job, MSA. Let's see. Oh, and they had the logos this time. So Hostess apparently likes paying for the logos throughout their history, because I've never seen one without one from Hostess. All right, then we're gonna show you we got a duplicate. So you know, 1993. So that's So that's like 31 years ago, people. So obviously, if I'm at a card shop or something and come across a card like a Hostess, chances are I'm not going to remember who I have, so I just pick them up because they're like 50-cent cards or something like that. But like I said, we'll see what happens in about 70 years. Hey, there we go, Larry Walker, Hall of Fame. And there he looks like he's in an Expos uniform. Look at that, folks. So narrowly, time is just about up for the Expos there. And of course, 94 isn't that the strike season? That's pretty much spoiled baseball for a while for a lot of people there, and it's kind of the end of the road for the Expos because they were probably going to win it that year, or at least they were on track. They were probably the best team in baseball that strike year, so there might be some history, some of the last of the Expos cards that you can get, especially in an oddball, food issue, product issue. So there we go. MSA. End that off with a Hall of Famer. So congratulations, MSA. You were good cards. Here, let me just show these really quick. I'll throw these back in with another episode of random cards, but just in case they are done by MSA, because we know MSA did starting lineup stuff, especially early there, like in '88. So KPT, I don't know what that is. But these little playing cards, they're all kind of awkward size. Kind of has an MSA feel, doesn't it, people? So Dave Winfield, Hall of Famer. And so I guess we're not going to not end on a Hall of Famer. Ozzie Smith there. Championship Talking Baseball. Ozzie Smith. So I like these two. They're kind of really simple. This is very pre-warish feeling to me because it's an odd size. They're really a pain in the butt to store, but we've gotten used to that kind of stuff with tobacco minis, which are my favorites. But I don't know if I have Dawson one of this. Maybe I do. Alright, so that's it for the MSA run. And KPT, if they have anything to do with MSA, not too sure. No, I don't think I have one of those in Dawson. Alright, so let's go back to the beginning. Now, I don't know exactly when they first began, but instead of going to the earliest, we're going to go to the next youngest, I suppose. And so let's go here with 1977 Hostess. Now, these were done by Topps, but it does not say Topps anywhere on the cards. So maybe Topps didn't want their name on these because they're kind of simple. A little ugly. They're very reminiscent of those Kraft macaroni and cheese cards. Oh. Look at this, people. This top loader just broke. That's how old this is. Alright. And that is Hall of Famer Tom Seaver. So Topps did these cards for Hostess, and these were on the side of a box. So if you bought a box of Twinkies or something, you would have got a couple cards, like 3 card panels or whatever. And hand cut them off yourself. But they do have stats on the back. So we got that. And just for comparison's sake, there's the home plate heroes. Very similar size. Yep. Very, very close. This one seemed to be a little wider, but these are blank backs, and so these were very similar to these here. Alright. What is this? Ralston Purina Topps. We're going to get to those coming up here in the future. Alright, so Tom Seaver, Hall of Famer. There you go. Looks like it says I paid $5 for that. But, you know, probably got a deal. Stick that in there. It's still got the border, so that probably, if you're a grading person, that would probably grade. And next, we're going to go not Hall of Fame, but maybe someday. And a little miscut there. Thurman Munson. I think this is my first Thurman Munson playing days card. That's why I picked this up, because it's Oddball and it was Thurman Munson. So I know there's a lot of Thurman Munson fans out there. And that's a cool looking card. It's kind of just classic baseball look to it. You know, it's not the most beautiful card, but as I've told you before, I kind of like simple. That's pretty straightforward. It's a cool design. That little arch there is kind of cool. And the backs are just super simple. You know, I like that. So there you go, Thurman Munson. Okie dokie. So now we're going to go back a little further, people. So those were 77s. Now we're going to go back to 75. So obviously this is it. I don't think I have any more out there. And now these cards were sideways like that and up. So then these cards as well. So this is an actual panel, not a complete box, but it's panel, but still no Topps information on there. But you can look it up. Topps did these cards. It's just typical. It's pretty decent stock for like if you bought Little Debbie or Hostess right now, you'd probably get cheaper paper because, you know, all the recycling stuff. So this is not bad stock. And then Daryl McKinney Harrelson. So there's their backs. And as I said, those are 75s. So Gary Maddox, probably the most notable player on there. And then they give you some space so that you're not just cutting between two cards. So that's probably pretty good. Design's a little less, not as nice as the other one. That little arch makes a big difference. Kind of really bright, washed out pictures there, but still pretty sweet. And Bud Harrelson, infielder. So Mets, White Sox, and Giants. So there you go. Shaka's Closet. White Sox fans, sorry, pretty bad uniforms there. And Rick Vintage Oddball cards. It's probably right up his alley there. He's a Giants fan, so there you go. Alright, and to end it off, folks, one Hall of Famer and one person, you know, superstar, but perhaps famous for something else, which we can discuss. If you want to like, subscribe, leave a message, tell me what you think, whether you agree or disagree, or even know what I'm talking about. It's going to be his second card here. So look how big this set was, people. It's already at 149, so at least 150 cards. So what you got here is James Augustus Hunter, which Catfish Hunter, Frank Tug Edwin McGraw, so Tug McGraw, and David Arthur McNally. And so start with David here, and then Hall of Famer Catfish Hunter, and then Tug McGraw. Now, does that face look familiar to you? If you didn't know, Tug McGraw was a good, I believe, closing pitcher during his day. He's a starter too, apparently, so maybe ended up closing. But his other name to fame, notoriety, is Tim McGraw's father, the country singer, superstar, who's been a superstar for about 25, 30 years now. He's gone away a little bit lately. But Tim McGraw, married to Faith Hill, one of the big superstars from country music in our generation, and that's his dad, Tug McGraw. And if you know the song Live Like You Were Dying, it's talking about his dad, you know, like dying of cancer, and just live like you were dying. So there you go. And plus you got a Hall of Famer, and you still got an Expo here. Hey, there you go, Mike O. He's a Phillies fan. So there it is, people. That is my Hostess with the mostest collection. So not a whole lot there. Always dreamt of getting Hostess cards through the days, but just never really seen them. You know, it's one of the things I just never caught. So I was never able to buy them. Had I known, or at the time, I probably would have went to the, what is it, the day after, the 1 day old store. Like Hostess used to have those stores where you can buy like day old product. You know, so like $4 box Twinkies probably cost you like $1.50 or something. Could have got a bunch of cards, and I would have spent a lot of money, and it probably wouldn't be worth a whole lot, and it's probably just cheaper to buy them now. But that was part of the fun, was tracking this stuff down, and I'm sure some kids had fun tracking this down and talking their mom into buying them some snacks to get a, you know, to buy a whole box so that you can actually do this. Well, folks, so Hostess and MSA, Michael Schechter Associates, take a bow. Great oddball card company with quality all over the map. But the fun of hunting this stuff was, you know, story of a lifetime. And then hunting this stuff nowadays. So thanks. I hope you appreciated my little run of MSA cards. I believe they deserve a little more credit, because it's the kind of stuff we all wanted back in the day, because we all thought we were going to get rich off cards, didn't we? Well, I'm rich with cards. I may not be rich on them, on these kind of cards, but depends what you consider rich. Financially, nope. Maybe someday somebody's going to make money off of one of these for some reason. We never know what the big deal is going to be someday down the road. They're going to be like, oh, you know, one of these guys became president or something like that, and that was the short print card of the set, and people didn't realize it until blah 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 years later, and that's the next Hannes Wagner. Not, you know what I'm trying to say. Alright, folks, I guess I'm just talking to talk, but there we have it. Thanks for watching Old Style Classics Baseball Cards. Hope you enjoyed that. Stanley Cup Game 7 tied 1-1. 5 minutes left in the first period. So, alright. Gotta love hockey. Alright, everybody, thank you for watching. Please share this stuff with anyone who would like this kind of stuff. Thanks, man. Bye.